land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody knows.
Yeah, we are here again discussing the issues right now. I hadn't really gotten the chance to talk very much about these major problems and issues in the country. We have some big stuff like the Prime Minister and his group with BTL trying to sell out this thing and saying that, well, BTL is a private company and so they have the right to do their thing and we can't involve because this is a private company and it's like one of these deals where, are we stupid? Do we really look like we have a nose back way or something? It's a private company. Like the Prime Minister, according to Channel 5, which I checked, he says Prime Minister John Briseno told News 5 today that Belize Telemedia, BTL, must be allowed to make its own business decisions while the government ensures consumers are protected. Listen, Scott.
Santi, we lost trust and confidence a long time ago.
Wow.
As a general rule, government needs to be held in check.
Absolutely.
That's why we have an opposition, even though in our system of government, opposition, the biggest thing that they can do is, number one, rail up. Number two, write newspaper articles and nowadays Facebook posts, right? And so that's the main thing that the opposition could do, but the opposition has no power, no voting power in the House where these ones could vote across the aisle and join together. No. That, in Belize, that doesn't happen. It's winner take all. Right? And so the opposition is supposed to hold in check, and so sometimes that might be in the divulging of information that the government is not divulging, right? And so again, the call for transparency and all of that, but that's the purpose of the opposition.
Well, thanks to the Senate.
Yes,
social
and so
partners.
and then this is why the social partners in the Senate, Belize, listen to me carefully.
Yes.
People are wanting to change the Senate into an elected Senate, where the Senate will be red and blue.
It'll be controlled again.
And what happens when you have the House, controlled by the red or the blue, and then you have the Senate controlled by the
red
same
or
exact, red or blue.
Right.
And what happened? It's free control.
Exactly.
You do what you want, right? And so we pass a bill that's not good for the nation, and it goes right through the House and it goes right through the Senate.
Because the chairman will always be the what do you call it? The turning vote.
Yes.
Because if it comes to
the president of the Senate. Yes.
That the vote will want.
But let's say you have a hefty majority.
Right.
Because if this is elected and the political party in power holds a hefty majority in the Senate, it's called do what you want. Yeah. And then there's no checks and balance.
Exactly.
So listen to me carefully. We have 6 senators for the ruling government. We have 4 senators for the opposition. And then we have 4 social partner senators. And those 4 social partner senators are committed to their constituencies, right? The unions, chamber and business, right? The NGO community and the church. Yeah. Those are your 4 social partner senators. Those 4 are the only semblance of true democracy that we have
balance,
in the nation of Belize.
Yeah.
Because they can go for or against based on what?
Yeah.
Based on the merits of the issue.
That's right.
No red,
No
no
blue.
blue. Based on the merits
Yeah.
of the issue.
Yeah.
And so when Bishop Bengashe was senator for the church, and he mobilized and galvanized
Yeah.
together the four social
Yes,
partner senators
yeah.
on the marijuana
Yes,
bill,
yes,
to
sir.
oppose that.
That's right.
I think under the previous administration, I think it was 5 or 6 times that the lead senator for government business, when he listened to the 4 social partner
That's right.
senators when they stood up to speak,
Yeah.
he could see clearly, okay, these guys don't support this.
Yeah.
Stands
Yeah.
up and says, Mr. President or Madam President, we're going to withdraw
Yeah.
this issue from a vote, because
Exactly.
if it went to a vote, it was going to be dead right there in the
That's
water.
right.
Then, kudos to the lead senator,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Yes.
Went to those ones and say, how do we need to change this? What do you not like? Well, we
Yes.
don't like this and that and that. All right, well, what if we do? That's democracy.
That's what
democracy.
This thing is all about exactly.
That's why I'm saying, you
Yes.
guys, those 4 social partner senators is the only semblance of democracy that we have truly in our system.
Other than that, all we have is red and blue.
The red and blue.
And hardly not even red.
And it's a game, Santi.
It's hardly.
It's
Listen,
a game.
Look at what we have at the opposition. And listen. I hear and I think you heard her talking about the next prime minister. Mama, make I say something. Please. No disrespect. Things have to change. And it might start just with you, Miss Panton. It might just with who you're selecting, because remember, I'm a voter and I vote both direction, or I vote 3 direction. I vote red and blue and green, and I vote where I feel is the best option.
And
I
the
know
best
the vote
people.
and the best people. I know they vote blue or red or green or yellow. I know vote, and I could guarantee you I am not the only person that votes like this or think like this in this country. And this thing they change. Trust me, this thing, Scott, this thing they change. I'm telling you, we have one generation where they come up, we don't want to be red and blue as well we think it is, And listen, watch this. They had the elections. And who was in that election to become the chairman? Because, of course, we have a partner right there, we're well known here from, used to be the area rep for Belmopan. He got whopped out twice. Oscar Mira whopped him twice. Then he got to become he throw in the hat for the chairman. Well, he get whopped out again. What is that saying? People know why you're in, they don't have no confidence in your leadership. So you could still be one UDP voter if you want, but how much power, what they want to trust you with.
Yes.
So that it's up to the leader of the opposition to put the different people that I could say they make some serious changes in the party that I trust.
But
I not vote for people who I not trust.
right now, Santi, the PUP, they laugh at the UDP, right? Because of all of their fighting and
Right
but
now.
listen to me, folks. Remember, don't be a fool.
That's right.
Remember,
That's right.
a few years back, the UDP was in
They
power.
laugh at
They laugh at the PUP
Yes.
because all of these ones were fighting within their
Yes,
camp,
man.
right?
Yes.
UDP got 3 consecutive terms, right? And so we talk about, we know what a first term looks like. We know what a second term looks
What
like.
the second term they look like right now?
And so we've already, in the second term, we're already hitting third term dynamics that we saw with
Yes,
UDP,
yes.
which basically everything that like broke out,
And this
right?
is the first year.
And you talk about lawlessness and all these kind of things. Anyways, this is my point. Without a strong opposition, right? And John Saldiva told me this. We were having a conversation, and he said everybody knows, because I think he has a master's degree, maybe higher than that now. I don't know.
He's
In
economics.
political science and
And
economics.
yes.
Right?
Yes.
And
yes.
so everybody knows When you have a weak opposition, that's the worst thing for you.
Yeah.
That's when you start to do fool.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Take that truth right there and put it onto this monopoly thing. When you have a weak opposition, what's your opposition in business? It's the competition.
And not laugh at their weak opposition.
Yes,
because remember that the people put you there, and even though we have a weak opposition right now,
That's right.
people want to get fed up, you know.
That's right. And so so said, so done. When the PUP was in before and the UDP came in, what did they come in with, Santi? Do you remember?
Yeah,
they came in with a super majority.
Oh, yes, man.
All right, and then they served for 3 terms, and then the PUP came in with what? A super majority. What that tells me, what you were talking about is you don't vote, you just UDP or PUP, you vote for it's called a swing voter, right? We had UDP with a super majority when they came in, right, after Syed Musa, and then they served 3 terms. By the 3rd term, everything was just like out of order, out of control, craziness, right? And then the PUP came in with what? A super majority. What that tells me is that you have a middle group in our country,
and it's not because
that are going to vote this way or that way. They're not loyal to blue or to red. They're looking for good people. And so, yes, we have that side of democracy. But what happens is when they get into the House, and then there's not that checks and balances. In the United States, you know, I know more about that because I studied it in school and all of that. But, you know, like you can actually, like Democrats can vote together with Republicans. Bipartisan.
But we don't got that yet.
And we don't have that in Belize, right? And so what happens is we wind up with this lopsided, it's like a ship that's listing way over to the left side. If we get one wave that comes over, like this thing going over, and then we have elections, and now it's listing way over to this other side because we lack this dynamic of checks and balances. And that's where the rule of law kicks in, is with the checks and balances.
And Scott,
so right now in the United States, President Trump is doing some things, and opposition is saying, hold on, not so fast, right? And so they need to pay attention to rule of law.
Absolutely.
You have to go by the rules. You understand?
Yes. And then they bring them in at the Senate. And you remember one time when we bring Boots. I watched this, Scott, and I go, boy, we people really ridiculous. Micho was in the Senate then, and they do an interview with the, what do you call it, with the Senate, what do you call it again? Well, Select Senate Committee, where Boots were brought in and talk about disrespect and in your face attitude in the Senate, disrespecting the senators in the lower room. And then we had Castro also, and boy, they're so disrespectful to the senators. And like I said, Michelle Shabbat was one of those senators, and the way that they disrespected these guys because they felt like they were gods in their king because they were in their third term back then. And I go, boy, you don't realize that you know get whapped out very soon and quick and hard. And then, but then no worry, because if you make a lot of money in the thing, then you don't worry, because this is a money game. It look like, right? But I watched this thing, Scott, and I am saying the first term for the UDP, they did 5 years. Well, it wasn't even 5 years. 4 and something years. Really, really good, right? According to the book, right? Almost, at least. Second term start, and in the maybe first 1.5 years, a second term, boy, I kind of shaded the start to go. So I said this one way back, you know. The first term will look good. Okay, good. First term will look good. Make we see how we want to do in the second term. Make we see, because that all kind of things start to go crossway and things start to. You watch over there right now. Where are we at right now, the second term? Where are we at? But remember, it's important that this government, and I'm telling you, there are a lot of the government ministers in this administration that I like, and I think they're great guys.
Yeah.
And I think they really want good for this country. However, stand firm and strong in your convictions, in your values, and remember, if nothing, we could reflect back, not just from Mr. Price, Mr. Goldston also was a solid guy, you know, Scott.
Yeah.
So if you want to look at the UDP, want to talk UDP, want to talk about the opposition, Mr. Goldston was a solid guy. Mr. Price, the father of nation, so I said this are the husband and wife, I believe that Mr. Price and Mr. Goldston. So Rice will have on the bills, them the $100, Mr. Price, the $50, Mr. Goldston. I said, this is cool. I love those two guys. I think they were some of our heroes of this nation. Remember their guys. And if we remember, follow the principle and not just the chase money, Scott. Because remember, you know, politics, they were very lucrative occupation.
Yep, it is. Especially when you don't have the checks and balances to hold things in place,
Yeah.
right? So,
Do you have power or love for money? Power or love for money? Which one of them? I think, Scott, we have to wrap up early today because this is Friday. We have some shoot and what's not. So make we throw in some of the final stuff here.
Sure.
I just felt like I needed to share these views right here of mine on this morning, that this nation will know that we are the church. We are not PUP. We are not UDP. We want to see good governance, that which will be best for the people of Belize.
yeah. And Santi, we sat down. I sat down as a representative of the church, yourself also, with the UDP during their time
Yep.
when they were leaders in government. And then it shifted over to PUP, and we sit down with the leaders
Sure.
of PUP. Why? Because government, that government. If we were red or blue,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, no, we not sit down with them when they come in.
Yeah,
no, man,
yeah.
we are left and right there. Just
Yeah,
make them
yeah.
do it and just criticize.
Yeah.
That's not how we function. Santi, this is my conviction, right? This is what drives me. I could not care less about politics, but I'm deeply concerned about government.
Yeah.
And I'm deeply concerned about leadership,
Absolutely.
right? And I'm very concerned about values in our nation. And by the grace of God, we as the church, inclusive of all churches, we as the church have a representative
Yes.
in government.
Yes.
And that's one of the social partner senators, right? And so we're very concerned about those dynamics. We do everything we can to keep lines of communication open. Sometimes they throw us a curveball, and you wanna bite back. You wanna go like a lion, right? And then we realize, hold on. Let's call a meeting. Let's sit down. Let's discuss face to face, right? Why? Because we're very concerned about government. We're very concerned about leadership. Why? Because that trickles down and that affects the people. And so we want to see things that are going to happen in the nation that are to the benefit of the nation
Yes.
and the benefit of the people. And so the people's money was spent to pay an exorbitant price on BTL, right? What I was saying, we were talking about this
Yeah.
off the air. What I was saying back then when the government took BTL away from Mr. Ashcroft, what I said at that point is, the government has the right in the proper circumstances, again, rule of law, to step in and do something like that. But you can't just take something from somebody and not pay them for it. You can't just take something and not compensate them for the
That's
business
right.
that you
That's
took
right.
away from
That's
them.
right.
And I'm sharing that with you to say,
That's right.
at that point, we already had a valuation on BTL because there were some others that were looking at possibly buying it. We already had some valuations. We already had some numbers. I think it was around $100 million at the time.
Yeah.
And so did we take a call there?
No.
Okay. All right. And so what I want to encourage everybody in is that we paid an exorbitant price because of political gaminess.
Yeah.
All right. I
Yeah.
think we paid upwards to the tune of $300 million, and most of that was fines and penalties from this deal that was signed by the previous government of arbitration over in whatever, arbitration court of London, and Dean Barrow was saying, no, we have our own judicial system here in Belize. And so we're not going to pay that. Yeah. Well, we wound up paying it right before elections. Dean Barrow said, all right, we'll pay. How much you want for it? And then that valuation time went past election, right? Yeah. And so anyways, long story short, what I'm saying is we already paid for this. Right. With whose money?
So pay for it again.
The people of Belize. Yeah. And then now we're going to pay for this next deal again to create a telecom monopoly, and that's what I'm saying, folks.
And it pads somebody's pocket.
It pads somebody's pocket, but also to put the knife to our own throat because we have to pay that. The people of Belize, they keep saying it's a private company with government majority shares. Who is government? Government is the people of Belize. That's taxpayers' money. Where we done pay out $300 million, now we're going to have to pay out again in order for us to buy a monopoly. That here's what's going to happen. They're going to say, you know what? We're not profitable enough. One of our shareholders is Social Security, and in order for all of these people to get their Social Security benefits, we need a higher profit margin, and so those poor people and their Social Security benefits and this and that. So therefore, we need to raise rates, and there will be no competition. There will be no telecom competition to be able to stand against that, to be able to hold that in check. And so I don't buy this whole line that this is a private company. It's a private company with majority government shares. Right. Government represents the people. That's the people's money. We already paid for it with government money, people's money before, and now they're setting up our next deal for us to pay for, to buy a monopoly that's going to turn around and raise the rates on the people. Why? Because of the profitability, the profitability of this private company. That's what they're saying. When it's majority government controlled as a utility. And so I'm just saying, folks, I don't buy it. This is predictable. I can see exactly what's going to happen. And so people of Belize, you need to be prepared to mobilize, to let your voices be heard, right? And if these ones are going to get hard-nosed and hard-head, and they're going to try and push it anyways, then the people of Belize are going to need to get hard-nosed and hard-head, because we are the ones that voted and put them there. And so you can't just do what you want unless the people are saying, they just do what they want. And I remember a young person told me this, said, I can hardly wait till I become a leader, then I could do what I want. And I'm thinking, where did they get that from? It's from watching our politicians. That's where they got that from, right? Let us not be those kind of leaders, right? And I'm trying to say this. I want you guys to see this thing is predictable. It's going to spin back around. If you don't step up now, it's going to spin back around and it's going to bite us all. And we're going to pay for something that we already paid for. But this time around, when we pay for it, we're going to be paying for a monopoly, which is going to turn around after we just paid for it. They're going to say we're not making enough money and we're going to have to raise rates on the people. Why? Because there's no competition. So, folks, wise up. Wise up. Okay, and so Santi, you asked the question, do they think we're stupid? I saw a movie one time where the guy told the other guy, you think I'm stupid? And the other guy said, don't answer that. Do I look stupid to you? Definitely don't answer that, right? But do you think that the people of Belize are stupid? And I'm saying no. So folks, wise up and be ready. You're going to need, if they're going to get hard-nosed and hard-head, the people of Belize are going to have to be hard-nosed and hard-head. And you might need to be hard-nosed and hard-head against your own political party.
Absolutely.
That will prove whether or not you actually believe in something or if you just believe in red or blue.
Exactly.
I don't want to be that kind of person.
That's right. Thanks, Scott. We always appreciate your inputs and value that so very dearly. And the people of Belize, and I'm talking about people of Belize, you're Belizean, whether at home or abroad in the diaspora. I know we have a lot of people abroad, that are concerned about what's happening in Belize because you want to see good governance. And I know there are those that you lean heavy towards the PUP. And I believe there are great men and women that are PUP, and I respect that. Or UDP. You lean heavy on that side, and why?
We're friends with both sides. Because this is Belize.
Yeah, exactly. And I know the leaders of this country, I know them. I know our leaders, right? It's important that we know our leaders, we know our people, right? And I don't. This is not trying to knock down anybody or trying to push somebody down so that you could raise up. No, we don't have no interest. Listen, I live a long time in this country. This is my home. This is my jewel, right? This is my whole life here, right? By my choice. I said this over and over and over and over again. I've said this over and over. This is home for me. Pastor Scott Sturm, you're American. You're a very talented man. I have known you for a long time. If somebody never know, they say, boy, Scott, you waste your time here, please. You're going to live large up yonder. That's a fact, that's a reality, right? With the kind of person you are and everything, you're going to live large up yonder, man. You're rough through, raise your children that rolling quick, and they gone through a lot of roughness, and so, and in my opinion, I can't say nothing else more than, bro, you love this nation,
yeah,
and you're one of us here, and that's why we're here.
43 years.
Right?
Yeah.
This, my gosh, man, you pour out your blood, you pour your life to this country, and I appreciate and we love you dearly, a good partner, and that's what we want for Belize, my fellow Belizean brothers and sisters, our government leaders, our prime minister, our deputy prime minister, good guy, Scott, Henry Charles Usher. I listened to him yesterday talking about the great grandson,
yep,
of Mr. Price.
Yep.
Henry, I believe.
I appreciate him tremendously because he actually believes something.
Yes.
He has a constitution inside. Right? He actually believes something.
Hey, listen, man, and so I appreciate people, men, women, that really stand firm and hard for the nation. And I know it's challenging, like in the opposition. What happened to some? Let's get some bipartisan, man. Cause if you don't agree with it, then at least say so yes on time with the PUP or PUP say no to your own party, and let's build Belize, man. Let's continue to love this nation. Let's continue to be good parents. We have picnic, everyone, and we have families. Whether you're a government minister, whether you're a CEO, whether you're whoever you are, you're a business person, you have lots of money, you can't care none of that with you when you peg out. And you are, well, I left off my picnic, my grand picnic there. Listen, we don't know what this thing will turn out to be yet. You ready to tell you? Make we live with life with integrity as true Belizean patriots that love and want to see good governance and to see our country come together. Our church brothers and sisters, our pastors across this nation, all across this nation, we have pastors, Spanish, English, Chinese, Asians. Let's come together, Mayan, Kekchi. Let's come together as leaders of this nation. If you're a pastor, man, just come together, unite in heart. We have the common denominator, Jesus Christ and Him crucified. That's the common denominator. Neither is there salvation in any other, only through Jesus Christ. He is our Lord. Remember, Jesus is our Lord. Father of the nation, believes the Father for a nation, our Lord Jesus, not Mr. Ashcroft. Belize, have a beautiful, wonderful, blessed weekend. Take care of yourselves, take care of your family. God bless you. We're out of here. Thanks for joining us.
Santi, thanks. Belize, have a wonderful weekend.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me.